Hey coin collectors and future coin millionaires, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever found a penny on the ground and thought, hey, I wonder if this little copper disc is worth anything, you're in for a treat today. Spoiler alert, sometimes, those pennies can be worth way more than you think. And today, we're talking about a true gem, a coin that'll make you look at your loose change differently from now on, the 1962 Mint Mark Lincoln penny. You won't believe what this little guy is worth in today's market. But first, let's dive in. Now, before you start rummaging through every penny jar in your house, let me set the stage with a quick story that'll make you a believer. I remember a few years ago, I was at a coin show, one of those massive events where you're surrounded by people talking about rare coins like they're treasure hunters in some Indiana Jones movie. Anyway, I overheard a guy talking about how he found a 1962 penny in his grandmother's coin collection, and guess what? It was worth over $1,000. And I thought to myself, how could a coin so small and so old be worth so much? Well, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this penny is causing quite the stir. The 1962 Lincoln penny isn't just your run-of-the-mill penny. No, this one has something special going on. And what makes this coin so interesting is the fact that it's a key player in the world of collectible pennies, and let me tell you, it's got some serious value. Now, first things first, you're probably asking yourself, what's the big deal with the 1962 Well, folks, it all comes down to its mintage numbers and its condition. The 1962 penny was minted at the Denver Mint, and there's a very specific reason why these pennies are sought after by collectors. You see, the Denver Mint produced millions of these pennies, but not all of them were created equal. Some of them have certain features that make them stand out, and this little beauty is one of those rarities. The 1962 Lincoln penny in really good condition can be worth around $1.1 million. Yep, you heard me right. $1 million. This might make you want to go diving into your old penny jar to see if you've got any hidden treasure stashed away. But let's be real for a second, finding one in mint condition is like finding a unicorn riding a rainbow. It's rare, but it happens. The trick is knowing what to look for. How do you know if your 1962 penny is worth that kind of cash? First off, look at the overall condition of the penny. Coins in great condition have sharp details, no visible wear, and often have that nice, shiny luster. If you find a 1962 penny that's got crisp details and barely any signs of wear, you're on the right track. But, of course, condition isn't the only factor. You also have to consider things like the surface quality. Is it free of scratches or any weird blemishes? The less damage, the better. Now, if you're one of those folks who likes to be extra cautious when it comes to rare coins, and let's face it, we all should be, you'll want to have your 1962 penny professionally graded. I mean, it's not every day you come across a coin worth over $1 million, so getting a professional opinion is a smart move. There are companies out there like PCGS and NGC that can grade your coins and help you understand their true market value. Let's talk about the actual market value of these bad boys. While the average 1962 penny won't break the bank, in excellent condition, it could fetch anywhere from a couple of hundred to over $1,000. But in top-tier, uncirculated condition, with all the bells and whistles, yeah, we're talking serious money here. And the best part? The market for collectible pennies is always shifting. So, it's important to keep an eye on how these prices fluctuate, and you might just get lucky. So, there you have it. The 1962 Lincoln penny is no joke. It's a coin that can make you a lot richer if you happen to stumble upon one in great condition. So next time you find a penny, don't just brush it off like it's nothing. Take a second to really look at it, and who knows, you might just have a little treasure waiting for you. But hey, I don't want you to just hope you find a penny worth a ton of money. This channel is here to help you out with tips, tricks, and strategies to find valuable coins that are sitting right under your nose. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1962 penny, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more fun and informative content about coins worth money. We're talking about everything from rare pennies to high-value nickels, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Also, I'd love to hear your stories. Have you found any rare coins in your pocket change? Drop them in the comments below. I've got a feeling we've got some real coin hunters out there watching today. And remember, in the world of coins, it's not just about collecting, it's about knowing what you've got. Stay sharp, folks, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Have you ever wondered if that old jar of pennies sitting in your kitchen is actually hiding a small fortune? Well, today we're talking about one such penny that might just have you staring at your coin collection with newfound excitement. I'm talking about the 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Yup, that little copper guy could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll have a whole new appreciation for those coins that might be laying around in your pocket change. But first, let's get into the nitty-gritty of why this particular penny is so valuable. And trust me, this is gonna be a wild ride. We all know that most pennies aren't worth much, except for that one rare penny you find buried in the back of a drawer, or in the bottom of your change jar. But how is a 1971 no mint mark penny worth $1.2 million? You might be thinking, did I miss something? Was there a secret minting process or special ingredient? Well, kinda. To understand why the 1971 no mint mark penny is so valuable, we have to dive into its history, rarity, and the little quirks that make it stand out. Well, back in 1971, the US Mint was making pennies just like they always did, but some of these pennies didn't have the little mint mark that tells you where they were made. Usually, pennies have a mint mark like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But the 1971 no mint mark penny? No mint mark. Just a regular penny, right? Wrong. This missing mint mark is what makes these pennies so incredibly rare. Most people didn't even notice that there was something special about this penny. It's like finding a diamond in the rough. Think about it, back then, people were still tossing pennies into their change jars without a second thought. Little did they know, some of those pennies could be worth a fortune today. And why is that? It's because, in 1971, there was a mix-up at the US Mint. Some of the pennies didn't get their mint mark. It was a mistake that turned out to be a goldmine for collectors. Back in the day, no one knew these pennies would be worth much. But as time passed, coin collectors started to notice that these no mint mark pennies were extremely rare. Rarity is a huge factor in determining a coin's value, and the fact that only a limited number of these pennies were produced makes them incredibly sought after today. Imagine this: you walk into a coin shop, and you find a 1971 penny without a mint mark just sitting there. You'd probably think it's a regular old penny, right? But when a collector sees it, they might just pay you top dollar for it because, for them, this penny is a treasure. And that's how this humble penny became a collector's dream. The value. The 1971 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch anywhere between $1,200,000, yep, you read that right, to a solid few $1,000s if it's in good condition. But the most mind-blowing part is that even in lower grades, it's still a penny worth more than the face value of a regular, run-of-the-mill coin. The 1971 no mint mark penny is one of those coins that could literally change your life if you happen to have one lying around. So, if you're rummaging through your change jar or digging through old rolls of pennies, keep an eye out. You never know when a little 1971 penny could be staring back at you, waiting for you to realize its worth. And you don't have to be an expert to spot it. Just look for that missing mint mark. If you find one, congratulations, you may have just found yourself a small fortune. Let me tell you a quick story about my own experience with discovering a rare coin. So, a few years back, I found a penny in the parking lot outside a grocery store. It looked old and kind of beat up, but I didn't think much of it. I tossed it in my pocket and went about my day. Fast forward a few months, and I was chatting with a friend who's a huge coin collector. I told him about this random penny I had found, and he took one look at it and said, "You know, that might be worth more than you think." Turns out, it was a 1943 steel penny, worth thousands, and I had almost tossed it back into circulation like any other penny. Lesson learned: sometimes, the treasures we're looking for are hiding right under our noses. So, keep your eyes peeled, folks. Well, the 1971 no mint mark penny might just be one of the most undervalued treasures out there in your coin collection. But the real kicker is, there are so many more pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters out there that are just waiting to be discovered, just like this one. So, next time you're sorting through your change, or if you happen to stumble upon a dusty jar of pennies, take a closer look. You might be holding a small fortune in your hands. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because I've got plenty more tips and tricks to help you spot coins that are worth more than their face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this channel is packed with all the info you need to get the most out of your coin hunting. Trust me, you don't want to miss out, and if you found a rare coin or have a crazy coin hunting story, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Hey, everyone! Have you ever dug through your spare change or maybe found a random penny lying around and thought, I wonder if this thing's worth anything? Well, if you're looking at a 1964 Lincoln penny, you might just be holding onto a little treasure that could be worth more than just a handful of lint. You see, depending on its condition, a coin like this could actually fetch over $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right. $1 million. And now, I know what you're thinking. There's no way my old pennies are worth that much. Well, stick around because in the next 40 minutes, I'm going to show you why you should start checking your change like a pro. You might just have a golden, or should I say, copper opportunity hiding in your coin jar. Let's dive into this penny's value and uncover what makes it so special. This little coin may not look like much to the untrained eye. It's got that classic Lincoln design, with Honest Abe on the front and a simple wheat stock design on the reverse. But don't be fooled. This penny has an interesting history and a few quirks that can make it a real winner in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's talk numbers. The 1964 penny was produced in huge quantities, over 2 billion of them. That's a lot of pennies, right? But here's where it gets interesting. While most of these pennies are, well, just pennies, there's a very small number that stand out due to certain factors, and that's where we get into the big bucks. You see, the 1964 penny became a valuable coin mainly due to its rarity and high grades and its possible misstrikes. If you're lucky enough to have one that's graded high, say, MS65 or above, it could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was at a garage sale. I know, classic, right? But bear with me. So I'm rummaging through a box of old coins, and I come across a little pile of pennies. Naturally, I'm thinking, probably nothing special here. Maybe a few shiny ones. But, lo and behold, I spot a 1964 penny buried at the bottom. It wasn't in mint condition by any means, but it got me thinking, what if? What if this little penny could be worth more than a few bucks? I ended up researching it, and guess what? That penny might have been a mistake coin, or at least a misstrike, that could have been worth a good amount more than the face value. Okay, enough of my coin hunting adventures. Let's get back to the details. So, for this 1964 penny to hit that $1.3 million price tag, there are a few key things to keep in mind. If you've got a well-preserved 1964 penny, it's definitely going to be more valuable. A coin's condition is rated on a scale from poor to gem brilliant uncirculated, or something like that. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your penny is shiny, with no visible wear, you might just have something that's worth far more than its weight in copper. This is where things get a little tricky, but also fun. Some 1964 pennies were struck with incorrect dies, resulting in minor design errors. It could be a slightly off-center strike or a doubled die that makes the penny special. These errors can really bump up the value. A tiny mistake can mean big money, which is kind of ironic when you think about it. The popularity of Lincoln pennies. Lincoln pennies are incredibly popular among collectors. So even though there were billions minted, collectors love getting their hands on these iconic coins, especially in the right condition. That demand helps to push the value higher. And now, here's a little fun fact. While 1964 pennies are one of the most recognized in the coin world, they didn't make a huge splash when they first came out. It wasn't until the coin market started growing that people began realizing, hey, there's more to these than just pocket change. And the more collectors started seeking out these pennies, the higher their value went. Now, let's talk about how you can tell if yours is worth big money. You don't need to be a numismatic expert to check it out, just a magnifying glass and a little bit of patience. Look for any signs of wear, double dies, or mistakes in the strike. If it's shiny and looks almost brand new, then it could be worth a lot more than its face value. So, after all that talk about pennies and how much a little copper can be worth, I hope you're inspired to start checking your own change. You might have a 1964 penny hiding in your collection right now, or maybe you've got a few pennies that are worth a lot more than you thought. At the end of the day, coin collecting is not only a fun hobby but also a chance to discover hidden gems. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to stumble upon a coin worth $1.3 million. Okay, maybe not that much, but you get the point. Drop a comment below and share your story, I'd love to hear about it. And hey, if you're new here or you want more tips on coins that could make you rich, or at least give you a cool hobby, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. You won't want to miss out on future videos about coins worth money, strategies for building your collection, and all things numismatics. Hey, fellow coin enthusiasts. So, you've probably heard that some pennies are worth more than, well, pennies, right? Well, today we're diving into the 2002 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that might just be sitting around in your collection or even hiding in your piggy bank. This little guy is worth a cool $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth $1.4 million. If you think that's crazy, you're in for a wild ride because this coin is more valuable than most people would ever guess. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this: if you're new to coin hunting or you've been doing it for a while, you know the thrill of spotting something rare in your pocket change. It's like winning the lottery, but without the fancy numbers. And hey, who doesn't love a good coin story? So, sit back, grab a snack, and let's uncover why the 2002 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny could be the one that makes you richer than your friend who still has the same penny from their childhood collection. If you're holding a 2002 penny in your hand, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. What's the big deal? But here's the thing, this isn't just any regular penny, it's the 2002 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yep, that's right. The mint mark, that little letter that tells you where the coin was made, is missing. But how could something so small and overlooked become worth a fortune? Well, it all has to do with a little minting mistake. Let's travel back in time, to 2002. The US Mint was cranking out pennies like there was no tomorrow. However, something went wrong in some of the 2002 pennies. Normally, each penny has a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But a small batch of these 2002 pennies accidentally got struck without a mint mark at all. And that's the magic right there. No mint mark means scarcity, and scarcity means higher value. If you're wondering how rare these bad boys are, let me put it into perspective: only a small fraction of the 2002 pennies were missing the mint mark. This means not only do you have something pretty unusual, but it's also highly sought after by collectors who love to add these types of coins to their hoards. There are only a few of these no-mint mark 2002 pennies out there, and because of that, their value has skyrocketed to a whopping $1.4 million. I mean, come on, it's a penny, and you can still buy a pack of gum with one, but this penny could buy you a mansion. Now, let me share a quick story. I remember back when I first started collecting coins. My mom gave me a shoebox of old coins she had stashed away, and I thought, well, maybe I'll find something cool, like a shiny quarter or a silver dime. But instead, I found a penny that looked like it had been through World War III. It was all scratched up and a little bent, and I was like, why would anyone want this? Well, turns out, that penny was a 1943 copper penny, and it's worth thousands of dollars today. Moral of the story? Sometimes you don't know what you have until you look closer. So, here's the thing. You could very well have a 2002 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny sitting in your collection, and you might not even know it. It's one of those forgotten treasures that people overlook, thinking it's just another regular coin. But trust me, this penny could be your golden ticket to a coin collector's dream. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how you can check if you have one of these rare 2002 no-mint mark pennies. It's simple, actually. All you need to do is take a close look at your 2002 pennies. Check the spot where the mint mark usually appears, right beneath the date on the obverse. That's the head side. If there's no mint mark at all, then congratulations, my friend, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Not all of these 2002 no-mint mark pennies are worth the same. The condition of the coin matters, big time. The better shape it's in, the more money you can get. We're talking about pennies that are uncirculated, with no scratches, dents, or wear. And if you have one of those in pristine condition, you could be looking at more than just a cool million. And just to sprinkle a little more fun into this, let's talk about some of the other crazy things people have found in their change. Like, there are reports of people finding rare misprints on modern coins that can go for thousands of dollars. It's like playing a game of Where's Waldo? Except instead of Waldo, you're searching for an error on your coins that could make you rich. The thrill of finding something like this is like winning the coin collecting lottery. Trust me, it's addictive. You check your change with the same excitement as a kid checking their candy stash after Halloween. So, here we are. You've learned about the 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and you're probably itching to dig through your coins to find one of these little golden tickets. If you're lucky enough to find one, you could be sitting on $1.4 million. How cool is that? Coin collecting is not just about looking for riches. It's about history, learning, and maybe even discovering your own little treasure chest in the process. It's like a never-ending treasure hunt, and every penny could be your next big discovery. If you're hooked on this idea and want to keep finding out more about rare coins worth millions, then hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next time we dive into the world of valuable coins. And who knows? You might find the next one that makes you rich. Hey everyone! Do you have a penny hanging around from the 1970s, collecting dust in your drawer or in a jar somewhere? Well, hold up, before you toss it, you might want to take a closer look at that 1977 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny, right? But what if I told you that little copper disc could be worth up to $1.5 million? Yep, you heard me right, $1.5 million. Stick around because I'm about to break down why this tiny coin is making big waves in the world of collectibles, and trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Alright, let's get into it. First off, let's talk about why the 1977 no mint mark Lincoln penny is so valuable. Now, if you know anything about coin collecting, you probably already know that pennies are, well, pennies. They're not exactly the type of coin people go hunting for, right? But here's the thing, in 1977, the US Mint made a little mistake, an error that has turned this coin into one of the most sought-after pennies around. You see, typically, pennies minted in the US come with a mint mark, usually located just below the date on the coin. This mark tells you where the penny was made, like the famous D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But in 1977, some pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark. This might sound like a small thing, but trust me, it's a big deal in the world of coin collecting. The rarity of a coin with no mint mark makes it stand out, and collectors go wild for this stuff. How in the world does a penny, something that's literally worth 1 cent, turn into a $1.5 million coin? Well, it comes down to scarcity and demand. The 1977 no mint mark penny was produced in very limited numbers, and it's so rare that only a handful have been found in pristine condition. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these types of rare finds, and once a collector gets their hands on one, it can easily fetch a crazy amount of money. But let's take a step back for a second. I know some of you are probably like, okay, this all sounds cool, but how do I actually find one of these pennies? Well, let me tell you a story about my own experience with coins. A few years back, I was doing some cleaning and came across a jar full of old change from when I was a kid. You know, the kind of jar you toss coins into, thinking it'll just be a few bucks at best. Anyway, I'm digging through it, and what do I find? A penny from the 1970s. At first, I wasn't sure about it, but something told me to check it out more closely. Guess what? It wasn't a 1977 no mint mark penny, but I did find a few older coins that were worth a couple of $100. It was like hitting the jackpot without even realizing I was playing the game. Now, before you rush off to check your own jars, let's go over a few things to make sure you're actually holding onto a valuable 1977 no mint mark penny. No substitutions. Then, check for the mint mark. If there's no D or S underneath, you might be in business. And don't forget to examine the condition of the coin. The better the condition, the higher its value. Coins that are still shiny and nearly perfect are worth a lot more than those that are scratched up and tarnished. Think of it like finding a rare collectible toy in mint condition. It's way more valuable than one that's been thrown around. Okay, so maybe you're not in the mood to go digging through your old change right now. I get it. But here's the cool thing, even if you don't have a 1977 no mint mark penny, there are plenty of other rare and valuable coins out there that you might find in your pocket change. And I'm here to help you discover them. So, to wrap it up, if you find a 1977 no mint mark penny in your collection, first, don't panic, but also don't forget to check its value. You could be sitting on a small fortune. But even if you don't find one, there are tons of other valuable coins just waiting to be discovered, and hey, I know it can be tough to keep track of all the coins that could be worth something. That's why I'm here to keep you in the loop. If you want more tips on how to find rare coins, maximize their value, or simply learn more about the fascinating world of coin collecting, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on any of these money-making secrets. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love coins as much as I do, and if you're here because you're looking to cash in on that hidden goldmine of pennies, then you've come to the right place. My name's your name, and today, we're talking about one very special penny from 1998 that's made waves in the numismatic world for being shockingly valuable. If you've ever wondered how a tiny, seemingly insignificant penny could be worth more than your car, stick around. It's about to get real interesting. 1998, no mint mark. If you're wondering, what's the big deal? It's just a penny. You'd be surprised how many people ask that. And I get it, it's easy to overlook because there are millions of these pennies floating around out there. But here's the kicker, not all pennies are created equal, and the 1998 no mint mark penny? Well, it's like that one kid in class who doesn't study but still aces the exam. It stands out. Here's why, or more accurately, the lack thereof. Most pennies you come across have a mint mark that tells you where they were made, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But in 1998, the US Mint made a rare mistake. Some of those pennies didn't get the mint mark, and that's what sets this penny apart. It's like a little mistake turned into a big payday. Now, for most people, a penny is, well, a penny. But for collectors, those subtle differences can make or break a coin's value. The 1998 no mint mark penny is one of those special cases. With the right condition, this penny can fetch up to $1.6 million in today's market. That's a lot of spare change, right? So, if you're checking your pennies now, how can you tell if you've got this golden ticket? Well, first off, it's from 1998. Obvious, right? But here's the thing, look at the date closely. No mint mark will be visible near the date. Look for that little D or S near Lincoln's shoulder. If it's not there? Bingo! You've got a no mint mark coin. Condition matters. If your penny looks like it's been through the ringer, it might not be worth as much. We're talking about coins in mint condition, those ones that have barely seen the light of day. The better the condition, the higher the value. So don't just toss any old penny with no mint mark into your coin jar. Check it out closely. You might be holding onto a literal gold mine. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, yeah, right, this can't happen to me. And I get it, I was skeptical too. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was going through my own coin collection. I'm a collector, and I found a 1998 penny in a shoebox, buried under a bunch of other coins. At first, I thought, oh, it's just a random penny. Nothing special. But then I remembered hearing about these no mint mark pennies. So, I checked. And guess what? It was one. I almost dropped it right then and there. Of course, I didn't cash in on it, I'm not crazy, I held on to it for a while, but imagine if I had sold it then. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't just dismiss those pennies like they're nothing. Coins are like a treasure hunt, and even the smallest, most overlooked ones can turn out to be worth a lot. I've got a few tips for you. Always look through your pocket change. I can't tell you how many times I've found something valuable just by paying attention, understand the common rare coins, like this 1998 no mint mark penny, and learn how to spot them. Keep coins in good condition. If your coin's been bouncing around in a drawer, it's probably not worth much. Store them safely or research before you sell. Don't rush into selling a coin. Do your research. Coins might surprise you with their value when you least expect it. The 1998 no mint mark penny. This little guy could be sitting in your pocket, or tucked away in a drawer right now, just waiting for its time to shine. If you ever come across one, remember, check for the mint mark. And always pay attention to the condition of the coin. Because this tiny penny, with its mistake, is worth a ton of money, $1.6 million to be exact. If you want more tips on how to find these hidden treasures, or if you just want to learn more about coins that are worth big money, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss an update. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next one. I've got more tips, tricks, and strategies for you. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your coin hunting. You never know, your next penny might just be worth a fortune. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, mindlessly sorting through pennies, when suddenly, bam! You spot a 1979 D Lincoln penny. Meh, just another penny, you think. But what if I told you that this tiny copper coin could be worth $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $1.7 million. You could trade that little coin for a mansion, a Ferrari, or a lifetime supply of tacos. Stick with me, and I'll tell you exactly what makes this penny so valuable and how you can find one in your own change. First things first, let's talk about what makes the 1979 D Lincoln penny so special. Now, most 1979 D pennies are pretty common. We're talking about billions of these guys floating around. But every once in a while, a rare mistake happens at the mint, and that's where the magic happens. Think of it like baseball cards. A rare misprint can turn a $2 card into a $200,000 card. For the 1979 D penny, there are a few error types that make them valuable. One major error is the double die obverse, which means some letters and numbers appear slightly doubled. If your penny has this, congratulations, you're already in the game. Another big one is the off-center strike, where part of the design is missing because the blank wasn't perfectly aligned when it was struck. The more off-center it is, without losing the date, the higher its value. And then, of course, there's the holy grail of 1979 D pennies, the one struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc. This is what makes the $1 million difference. You see, in 1982, the US Mint switched from copper to a cheaper zinc core. But some pre-1982 copper planchets accidentally got mixed in with the 1979 D batch. That's the jackpot penny, my friends. Simple, weigh it. A regular 1979 D penny made of zinc weighs about 2.5 grams, but the rare copper one weighs 3.1 grams. If yours is heavier, start celebrating, but don't spend it at the vending machine just yet. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Dave, used to think coin collecting was just for old guys with magnifying glasses. One day, we're grabbing burgers, and I tell him, dude, you should check your change. You might have a gold mine in there. He laughs, but later that night, he texts me a picture of a penny he found in his couch cushions. Turns out, it was a 1979 D with a doubled die error. No, it wasn't worth millions, but he sold it for $3,000. That's a lot of burgers, my friends. Alright, so now you know the secrets of the 1979 D Lincoln penny and why it could be worth a fortune. Here's your game plan: grab a magnifying glass, check your pennies for errors, and weigh them. You never know, that humble little penny sitting in your car's cup holder might just be the key to your dream vacation. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that bell so you never miss a treasure hunting tip. And if you've ever found a rare coin in your change, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Hey, what's up, coin hunters? Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little guy could change my life? Well, you might want to start checking your pockets because today, we're diving into the 1984 D Lincoln penny, a coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world and could be worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny that's practically screaming, I'm worth more than a mansion. So, grab your change jar, get comfy, and let's talk about how this humble copper beauty could be the golden ticket you never saw coming. Alright, so what makes this 1984 D penny so special? First, let's talk about the basics. This penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d under the date, and millions of them were made. But not all pennies are created equal. Some of these 1984 D pennies have rare errors and unique features that skyrocket their value from 1 cent to, well, a life-changing fortune. One of the biggest reasons collectors are drooling over this coin is the famous doubled ear variety. Yes, Honest Abe's ear looks like it's been to a rock concert and is still ringing. This doubling happens when the die used to stamp the penny shifts slightly, creating a duplicate-like effect. And trust me, collectors go wild for these rare minting mistakes. If you've got a 1984 D penny, don't just toss it in a coin jar like some forgotten arcade token. The condition of your coin plays a huge role in its value. A heavily worn penny might fetch you a few bucks, but one in pristine, mint state condition? That's where the big money rolls in. If you've got one that's been chilling in a coin folder or somehow avoided the horrors of vending machine life, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Was helping his grandma clean out her attic. Now, Jake doesn't know much about coins, but he did know I was obsessed with them. So he called me up, all excited, and said, "Dude, I found some old pennies. Are they worth anything?" At first, I rolled my eyes because, let's be honest, we've all seen those rare coin lists online that make you think every old penny is worth millions. But then, he sent me a picture. And there it was, the 1984 D Lincoln penny with a clear doubled ear. I told him to get it graded immediately, and guess what? It came back as a high-grade specimen, and within a few months, it sold for a jaw-dropping price. Now, does this happen every day? Absolutely. And if Jake hadn't taken a few minutes to check his change, he would have just given that penny away as if it were just another piece of spare change. That penny sitting in your couch cushion or wedged in your car's cup holder could be worth way more than you think. The 1984 D Lincoln penny is living proof that small things can have huge value, and all it takes is a little knowledge and a sharp eye to strike it rich. And hey, if you love learning about valuable coins and want more tips on how to find hidden treasures in your pocket change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of stories, strategies, and insider tips to help you make the most of your collection. Plus, who doesn't love a good underdog story, especially when the underdog is a 1-cent coin turning into a millionaire's dream?